I'm Journey Merchant. Let's play a video game. Maybe Halo 2 for the original Xbox, not the Xbox One. Or Kingdom Hearts for the PlayStation 2. Or over here, Mass Effect for the PC. Or Pegasus Prime DVD-ROM for the Macintosh. Let's go with that. Actually, I'm not actually going to be playing this. I'm going to be reviewing the box.
So why review the box? Because it looks nice and I haven't beaten the game and I don't really want to give my opinion of the game overall, although, as I said, it is much better than the Journyman Project Turbo if you've ever played that. Much, much better. They've improved the graphics, they've added cutscenes, they've added full motion actors, which I love. But I grew up playing games like this and Riven and Myst. And I love the cinematics in the Journyman Project 3. What's at the back? Return to the specular original of the acclaimed Journyman Project series. Blah 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 blah. I kind of want to get on with some other things in this video, so I'm not going to read that too. An Intel processor is recommended, although this will run on PC processors. I have a G4 1.24 gigahertz, and it runs just fine on that, apart from a glitch that at the time of this video I'm working on. It's for Mac OS 10.4 or later. It requires 512 megabytes of RAM. There is a version coming to goodoldgames.com for Windows, and a version coming to Linux. Hello, and now for some history. In 1992, Presto Studios came out with the Journyman Project, a game starring Gage Blackwood, who works for the Temporal Security Agency. The duty of the TSA is to protect history from being altered. And while you're on duty at the TSA, someone attempts to alter history, and you have to go back in time and undo the alterations. It's a really fun game, really interesting story, and they kind of have a fun vision of the future where things are bright and happy, and you know, humanity has sorted out all the violent ways and stuff. It sort of reminds me of Star Trek, and I'm a big fan of that as well. Now, one of the problems with the game, besides it being exclusive to the Macintosh, which was a problem for those of you who wanted to play it on other platforms, was incredibly slow. And they solved this by releasing the Journyman Project Turbo, which was also for Windows, and back in the day that would be, and this was released in '93, so it was for Windows 3.1. Now it says Windows 95/98 on there. It also says this disc contains the PDF manuals for all Journyman Project titles, because this is the edition that comes with the what's it called? It's like the pack where you get the first 3 games all in the same pack.
The project sold very well and actually spawned 2 sequels. And apparently Presto Studios had to work on another project, like I think it was Myst 3, or else they would have for the 4th game as well. After creating the Journyman Project 2, they decided to remake the game as Pegasus Prime. Pegasus being the name of Gage's time machine. Well, the time machine that Gage uses, not his time machine. This game was a total remake of the game. It had new graphics, it had new music, it had a lot of new cutscenes, and things were basically re-rendered. And it was also originally exclusive to Macintoshes of that time. The Macintosh has a lot less backwards compatibility than Windows computers, and so the original Pegasus Prime will not run on a modern Macintosh, which is one of the reasons why they have released this copy of it. The original Pegasus Prime was also exclusively on a multi-CD, multiple CDs, like the sequel here to the Journyman project, the Journyman Project 2. So that's a history. So basically, this Pegasus Prime, the Journyman Project Pegasus Prime, is a total remake of the original Journyman project that has been remastered on DVD-ROM with higher videos. They applied more compression to the CD-ROM version and released on in a jewel case like this for Mac OS X. And now let's take a look at some of the other things in the packaging. First of all, if we put the game up to my if I put the game up to my nose, it smells like new plastic, which I don't like and I like at the same time, because Crystal Studios is defunct, but the guy who owns the copyrights, Tommy Yoon, I think is his name, I'm probably not pronouncing that right, he actually went through the process of making DVD cases, because it has that, like, what's it called? That smell of, like, new plastic. So that's kind of interesting. And in the side here we have, now open to the public, the Journyman Project 3 Legacy of Time, which is actually my favorite game in the series because of the great cinematics. Exhibit and at the Science and Engineering Library. I can't read this in the camera. Josie Library Building, University of California, San Diego. And that is a very super sun reflective picture of the original team. And then there is the game itself. So now here's the Legacy of Time thing I was talking about, but you can see it a bit more clearly here. And here's the Pegasus Prime disc itself. Now it looks a bit brighter and more shiny here through the camcorder than it does in real life. It looks a lot more faded in real life. It actually looks like it's a CDR, and they just stamped the Pegasus Prime logo on it. That's my only complaint, but as I said, Presto Studios has been defunct for years now, and so they may not have the ability to publish things the way that they once did. Here's something professionally published, and as you can see, the quality is a little bit higher on the Mass Effect 3 Disc 1 than it is on the Pegasus Prime DVD. It just looks like, you know, the Pegasus Prime DVD looks like a bootleg copy. Like, it looks like someone took a CDR and used a CD stamper to stamp the logo on there. Well, the Mass Effect 3 one looks like it was actually printed on there. That may have actually been what happened, but you know, they don't have the ability to publish things like they just were, like they did in the day. Here's the Mass Effect 3 DVD, here's the Pegasus Prime DVD, and here is a plain Next-Tech DVD plus R. And as you can see, they look very similar. So that probably is a DVD-R that they just stamped on. Again, I can't blame them for that, because they didn't, you know, they didn't actually go to a publisher with this. So they didn't like have the money to, you know, publish it in a fancy way. But overall, it's very nice. And this probably is more expensive than a download, but I think it's definitely worth it. And then on the back there's an advertisement saying that you can get Buried in Time and Legacy of Time. on good old games. You can also get Legacy of Time for Macintoshes running macOS 10 points. I can't remember, but only certain versions up to 10.6, and then they dropped Rosetta. Alright, and now I've left a little something secret at the end. Let me close my Mass Effect 3 case to reveal that I have it set to the female Shepard, because that's who I play as. For Star Trek fans, I'll leave you with this thought. Who would you rather play as in a 40-plus RPG? Captain Janeway or James T. Kirk?